Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Where you go with the bean factory or application context. So if I want to work with any of these things, so I have to create the objects. But how we will mention what are all the classes we have it in our code. So that is, we go with the configuration. So that is either XML way of configuration, or we have mixed way, or we have Java based configuration. Java based. So we have a XML way, mixed way, or Java based way. So how we go with here XML way or mixed way or Java based? If I go with the XML way, I will, like if you are working with respect to the application context, we have a class called class path XML application context. Like there are different implementation classes, which is class path XML application context. If you have XML, we have to go with this. That is, if the XML is present in the class path. If XML is present in the class path, when you create any of your project, Java project, so it will be a class path like in the SRC. If XML file is present in this place, then we can go with a class path XML application context. If if XML file is not present in the path, it may be somewhere else. You have to go with file system path application context. Or I'm not working with XML, so it's an old way. I want to go with Java way. So we go with annotation config application context. These three are the core containers which we have it. We have a core containers with application context to work with a class path XML application context, file system, or annotation config. So the same way, if you are going with the bean factory also, we have a class path class bean factory, or we have a annotations to be loaded annotation bean factory. So depends on which type of a bean factory you are using, so that you will be using with respect to the bean factory either it's. So if you go with the XML way or anything, so where in the Spring container we say everything as we call everything as a bean. Every class we will call it as a bean. How it will reduce, or how it will overcome from the tight coupled. If you have a tight coupled objects, like as I written here, employee, or yeah, employer address, how these objects will be created with respect to XML way. We will create one any XML file, applications, application.xml, and any XML should be come with the XMLNS. So which is, we'll use a bean stack. This is the first tag. Here we'll give a XMLNS and all. Either we can go with DTD or XSD for the schemas. Then inside the beans, we'll write a bean tag. The bean tag will have a ID, which is for unique identification. Like I'll just write here, if you are creating employee even equals new employee. In the normal Java way of coding, we write this code. How will you do with the Spring way? We'll represent this as bean ID is even classes. We will write it as com dot sp dot training dot model dot employee. Fully qualified class name should be given. That's way the bean will be loaded here. Bean
If I
ID.
want to make it a constructor, I mean, if I want to make it an argumented constructor,
Yeah, I'll show it to you. So that is either you go with SI or you go with here constructor dependency. Okay, so that is if I'm passing here itself the values like 40. So I want to give this values. So how can we give here the constructor argument? So we have a tag called here constructor arg. Constructor arg. And what is the value you want to give it? Like employee ID 45.
but this
Whatever the
won't be
argument.
dynamic, right? Suppose.
No, this won't be dynamic.
Okay.
Employee like that you will be writing. If it is SI setter injection, instead of constructor arguments, we use here the property tag, the constructor or property are. So that it is a XML file. No, you no need to uh, do any changes in a class file because the Java code will be converted as a byte code. During deployment, you have to change something, or during running, you have to change some object so that you can change it in a XML file. If you do changes in XML file, it will not convert it as a any other code, right? XML will be always presented as XML. It does not have any conversion. But if I want to do any conversion in the Java code, like in the running application, I'll have a dot class files. I want to decompile it. Again, I have to do changes. I have to compile and build it, right? But here that process will be not there. So if I want to inject here to the employee address, like I will have bean ID, which is A1, like I'm just taking one address object, then class. It may be in any package. I'm just taking here models. Either we can make it as a inner bean. So this can be written inside of a E1 itself. It becomes a inner bean, or we can use it here. The third constructor argument as a address instead of value. If it is any primitive data type or predefined data type, we'll use it as a value. As it is another object, we'll use it here ref equals a1. So this as a injection.
If I need to create like 10 employee objects, all of them will be created with the E1 and the A1 as the bean IDs.
No, you have to create it like E2.
Oh, I have to create one for each object.
Yes, for each object you have to create it in XML way. Here the scope also will be there in the bean in the Spring application. So there is a property called scope. That is, you create one object or 10 object, but always it maintain only one object for container. Default scope of a bean is singleton. So that is one object per container. So if you create a like this, it is okay. But if you created object, let me just show it to you and practical. Oh, I will create one simple project and show it to you. I'm just creating a Maven project. Are you using Maven or Gradle?
We use Gradle.
Oh, use Gradle. Okay. It always says in every Bean class you should have a default constructor. You're comfortable with Eclipse, right? Or using IntelliJ?
We use IntelliJ, but it's okay. Why is having a default constructor is mandatory?
Because if you have it as a um constructor arguments, if you are not passing constructor arguments, so it will give a null pointer exception, right? So it should to be avoided that.
I suggest for that purpose.
So like we will be creating here the XML file in the class path. I'm just creating here.
That is nothing to do with the Spring, right? The default constructor.
No, no, nothing. So that is here. If I create here the object, the bean, which is id equals, I'm just taking here a1. So I just have it here, the employee object and the address object. I just have to load this values. So as with the Spring way, I should load it to my Spring container. So that is either Bean Factory or anything. So that is I'm just using here application context equals class path XML application context. So that is the XML file name is application.xml file, and I will get it here. So that is how the object will be getting here from the Spring container. So we will get it by using context.getBean. We'll use a context.getBean, and what is the bean ID here you have written, which is even. So that is I'm getting here even. So either you have to mention even, which is in the double quotes, and then I'm getting here employee object. Okay. Just for you to show the lazy loading and eager loading, like in my employee constructor also, I just write here. So whatever my application will be loaded here. See, I'm not calling anything, but still, whenever you go here, we are getting here employee called. Why it is given employee call? Because inside our employee, like the employee object is automatically created with the application context. But instead of application context, if I go with Bean Factory, uh,
Why was address not created?
because address is a dependent object here, right? Inside our employee itself address have.
Yeah, but even in case of eager loading, not all objects will be created at once.
I'll just check it out. Wait, yeah. What is the implementation class for this? Because here address is already calling the constructor which is not default, no? That's why. Here it's already written the code for the not for a default constructor. That's why it is not. Let me just comment this. Yeah, I'll go here to the app. Let me first run it. See, but as your Spring container got loaded everything, loading XML bean definition, but none of the objects are ready. So because it is lazy loading, whenever you call, then only it will be. So like for example, now you just call context dot get bean, and you call here employee dot class. Then your employee call will be coming. That is when you call a employee, then it will be called. So it is lazy. So that is the same code if I write it here with the application context. So I'm able to get here address called and employee called. Okay. So before it was not coming the address because we already called the non-default constructor. We call the parameterized constructor so that the object will be created with this, not with this. So are you clear with both? Yeah. So here when I go employee even equals context dot get bean, which is of even, but which is saying should be casted. I will set the values here. What I'll do, let me just go here and yeah, I have this address now. And when I go to employee even, so I don't set it like I will say even dot set EID 123 and even dot set ename, and I will just print the even values. So when I go here, only employee values are coming here, but address has become a null. So address object is not injected because address have a property, that is employee has a address, but address object is not yet created, so that the object does not created here. So how will I inject that address object? So that what we can do it here, so we can get the address object, address a1 equals context dot get bean a1 set address a1. This is we are injecting the object of a1. So I guess in the address I don't have a toString method, so it is displaying the object. Let me just have a toString also here. So the address object also got injected here. So where I go here, after this, I will just make it, I will get another time employee. I'm just taking only a reference. So A2, 124. E2. And here also we print E2. So where you go here, you get number of objects, but the like if I print even after this again, let me just print my even. I'm just printing both even and E2. You see, both even and E2 have a latest values, which have a 124 Sumatra, 124 Sumatra. So these values are not there. So that is one object. By default, the scope of a beans are singleton. Only one object will be maintained. But if you want, I want multiple objects to be maintained. So we have something called scope. We can mention prototype. The scope can be mentioned as a prototype. When you make it as a prototype, you can just see it here. We get both as a different values. The second one now, the object address is not taken. First one is 123 Shweta, second one is 124 Sumitra. So that is we have a different scopes here. So for the core application, either we go with the singleton or the prototype. So that is here where I was mentioning. Yeah. So singleton, one object per container. But where multiple objects you require it, so we go with a prototype. Or this is for both core. If you wanted for a based on each request you want a new object should be, so that we have a request. For each session you wanted, then we can go with a session itself. So different type of a scopes of a beans are there. By default, it will be a singleton.
I
So
didn't
are
get the
you
difference between prototype and the request.
okay? See here now, I'm not mentioning any scope, okay, which by default will be present. If you go to your app here now, I have set the employee as 123 and Shweta and
Yeah.
E2 as 124 and Sumitra. After that, I'm printing E1 and E2. Okay. So what is our expectation? E1 should contain 123 Shweta, E2 should contain 124 Sumitra. But when you go here, both values are 124 Sumitra itself because it maintain only one object.
Yeah,
It's a singleton.
this is fine. This is fine. Yeah, singleton
Yeah.
scope is fine.
Yeah. When you make it as a prototype, it is number of objects you can create it. Now E1 will have 123 Shweta and E2 will be for 124 Sumitra
So
because the
every time
reference
I
is
do a get bean, I'll get a new object.
yes. You
Okay.
can see you're getting
What is request?
like if you're going with the web applications for each request new object new bean will be created.
Also with a web request. Okay. You mean one of those post those requests? I can't hear. I think the audio is lost. Bhushan, can you hear me?
Chandra, am I audible now? Kavya, am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are now.
Okay. I don't know what was the problem. Strange. Yeah.
Okay.
So for each request, you will get a new object. Same way for a
Okay.
session, for each session, the new object should be created. Then that bean, you can configure the scope as session.
The request you mean one of those post requests for every post request I'll get a new object like that, is it? Or every I mean,
Any type
I
of
kind of,
request.
I mean, what would be the use case?
Like see, when I send a request, it should be created a new user object as my object. So in
So,
that
okay,
case,
that way, okay.
yeah, only
Okay.
for specific bean, I want the new object should be created. But database connection should be a singleton because I don't want multiple database connection should be happen. So it depends on for which bean you want which scope should be taken care.
Okay.
So here I don't want to manually inject the object. I don't want it. Whenever I create the employee, it should automatically create the address also. So that we can do it here auto wiring. So that is we do it here auto wire by default. I just given auto wire by default. So let us just go and do app. So there is no objects not created. So I want to do auto wiring by name. So we have a different properties in the auto wire. So by type or by name. So we have here, I will give it as a by type. So that is what is the type of address object like by type, like if multiple addresses are there. So based on which address you want, like first one, I'll make it as a by name auto wire by name. Let me just go on now do here. So still address is giving by a null itself. So the address is not auto wired for the employee object. So I will give it here. Okay, the name.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely.
You can see now by type is, so that is address have the both objects as set it, that is RR Nagar Bangalore. But only for a specific address, I want to give the different address object. So what I can do it. So I can get the bean and I can override the values which I want to. Like I'll take here address A1 and then I'll make it even dot set city, which is Tumkur. Only for employee object, even object, I've set the address here. So that is here for the address for both here at Tumkur and the Bangalore, because my address object got changed, because again if you see address is a singleton we made it. So that is here again the scope matters. So that is scope is prototype, and then I'll go for the app. So that is here for the 1, 2, 3 it's Tumkur, and for the second one it is RR Nagar. So that is we can inject the object by using a auto wiring. So that is we mentioned here auto wire by type. The type means what type of address object you have it. Like in the employee, we have a address object. So that is we have made it as a auto wiring by the address object. So where if you have a multiple address objects, like you may have bin ID of A1, bin ID of A2, A3, like based on what is the name you want to give it. So then we go with the by name. So that is auto wiring. That is we have not set any properties to the address. So but still we are getting whenever the employee object is built, it is injected the address object. As it is using a constructor, so it becomes a constructor injection. If it's using a setters, it becomes a setter injection. So this way dependency injection will happen with the XML way. But again, why I should write this code for this? I want to go with a mixed way. What we can do it here, either I can comment all these things in my XML. So I can go with my XML way, which is I have to add the one more XMLNS for context. That is to add another module here, which is CX. I'm just adding another module here. So we say I don't have any configuration, but look at this particular point. So that is CX colon. So we have I guess context is not proper. Okay, yeah. So I have here context which have a tag called component scan. So what we will make it, why I should write this many classes like this beans and all. What we do it, we mention the component scan. That is, you just go to this location and do the scanning for your components. So which will become a mixed. So here XML is also present. So when you just go and do the scanning here, it says you don't have a bean which is called even or E2. That is even is not available. Because here we have a ID called even, it is able to. But here there is nothing called even. So we can just mention it here, employee class itself. And I go here. But still we get here now again. So no qualifying bean for the type of employee available. Because when you run your application, this will look for your application.xml, and here it says you have components here. Guess one more person joined. Okay. So that is, we mentioned here the component scan. Okay, you scan in this package. So it will go here to the employee and scan it, look for the annotations. So where we have employee, sorry, component, which is also a stereotype annotation. So now after the component, when we run our application, see, we are able to get the same, which is employee and e-name address. But here address does not able to, because we have not done the auto wiring. So how to do the auto wiring? We see here auto wired component and the auto wired. So when we do here auto wiring, so as it is, it will be working here. Address, which is of 124 Sumatra. Again, you can see here the objects are auto wired, which is city, null, and the street. The object is present, but the values are null, because you have to create the address object and give the values. You have not created anywhere the address object, and address you have not given. But by default, employee will be binded with the address objects. So that is what here the auto wiring is doing. So where if you want to mention the scope and all, we can do it at the rate of scope. And what's the scope you want to? Scope prototype, I just took it here, and can be done with the same way here. Okay, so that way you can go with. That is, you're writing a XML plus the annotation, which becomes a mixed way of configuration. Is this is clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is, and again, I'm a Java developer. I don't want to go with XML. So I go with Java based way.
What is that
Yes,
set of lines that you have added in the very beginning? Is the I mean the beans, and then you have like
yeah,
schema beans instance and
okay,
those links, right?
sure. This is actually a root tag in the XML file. Whenever we go with any XML, there will be a set of guidelines, that is what all the tags should be allowed and what is the rules, what attributes are there. So complete XML schema definition will be there, that is called XSD. So this is the XSD for the application or the beans XML. That is, all the rules are given in the schema location. That's what I have added. Completely is XSD. Or we can give it
So
in
this is like
BT.
optional, do I mean, or I think it did not work initially when you did not add it properly. So is it like mandatory or it's optional, or like what is it?
No, it should be mandatory, because whenever you return any XML, it can take any user defined tags, because XML is user defined tags, no? But we want to restrict
Yeah,
only
but
the
mentioning all of those links.
yes, we have to mention everything. Like again, if you want to add a MVC, you have to give the MVC XSDs for this. If you're adding a AOP module, you have to add the AOP layer. So
So
all this,
applications do parse those, and then based on that it acts, is it? Like,
yes,
or
yes,
it's
yes.
just a norm that we add it?
No, it is based on that only it will be parsed. You have to validate your XML based on the schemas.
Okay.
Or do we really
So
use
as
this XML format right now?
no, no. That's for the third way, which is Java based way. So we go with the Java class, any class name you can name it. As it is configuration for application, I'm using app config. Can name it anything. So whenever you make it as any class, so that is what we have written in the XML. In the XML, we taken care of the creation of objects, right? So that same thing, how will you do it in the Java way? That is, we create in Java, we'll write a methods public. You want to return an employee object, get employee. Then you will write here just separation of a code which is to create the object. Is it okay? Just a few more minutes, I'll take it. Okay, so this is what we will create here. This is a replacement for this XML file. This is the replacement for this XML file which we have written. So where it is a Java based way of configuration, what we do in the app, so we are not calling here class path application. So we will be calling here annotation config application context. And what is the class which is responsible for this, that we will load it here. So where when you load this again, it will give a issue which is there is no bean which is that is no such bean definition exception as given. So because no qualifying bean type of EM or something employee is not available, because first this yes, employee class have annotation called component and all. So here either you're not going with all this now. Let me just comment this part. We made it inside a app config. So that is first we have to inform to this container it is a configuration class. So that what we will make it as a configuration annotation. Configuration annotation. And then now we go for a app and then just execute it. So here still we are getting, so there is no such bean definition which is called employee is not available, because we are trying to access the bean which is called employee, but we made it here. Yes, the class is configuration, but we have to make this or the bean classes, so that we have to annotate it with @ of bean. See, now we are getting here the employee details. So this way we'll do it. Currently, most projects are working on this way, which is Java based way. But still, it is my own classes. Why I should write this much code? I don't need to. What we can do it, we will mention here the component and the scope, and again here the component and auto wiring, and we go to app config, and in what we have written in the XML component scan, same way we have an annotation called component scan, which we write here base packages. I want to scan all this. Now we go here, still it works the same. Okay, so that is here you can see now this is a simple Java class as a replacement of this XML when you go with Mixabay. So here still we have to do all this configuration, and when you go with your web MVC application, so that we add a enable MVC annotation. So all these are replaced with one annotation in the Spring Boot application, which is at the rate of Spring Boot application. It's do the component scan. It's enable auto configuration. It enable the auto configuration. It's do the component scan in the base package. Like always, it will scan for the packages which is under the application which you annotated with Spring Boot application. So Spring Boot application, Spring Boot is very simple. Just to say in a simple words, Spring application or Spring framework minus configuration equals Spring Boot. That's the simple definition for Spring Boot. The lot of configuration is reduced with the Spring Boot, and it has some other advantages apart from the configurations. So that's what the intro to Spring Boot. So where in the Spring core module, which till now what we discussed, it's a Spring core module. So where you have a Spring core module, which is based on your dependency injection. When I go with my, I want to interact with database. So we go with Spring JDBC. So that is, there is a module which is Spring JDBC, which reduce lot of coding because it's given one JDBC template. It's taken care of all your result set mappings and all. You just write your code. Then we have a Spring DAO under, like, which is data access objects. Under Spring DAO itself, we have a Spring JDBC module, and we have Spring with any ORM, like basically Hibernate or MyBatis. Then we have a Spring with JPE. So all these are the Spring DAO modules. Then we have a Spring AOP, which is with the cross-cutting concerns. And then we have Spring MVC, which is based on the MVC pattern plus front controller. Then we have Spring Batch. Then we have actually, basically we have a Spring Web. Under Spring Web, we got Spring MVC. Then we have Spring Portlets, which is to develop a portal application, Spring Portlets, Spring with Portlet. And we have Spring REST. And then we have a Spring Security. So all these are the different modules which is available, and each module is based on some design pattern principle. But the core or the main agenda, which to develop a loose coupled object with a high cohesion, which is of dependency injection. Based on this dependency injection, so our objects are not tightly coupled. That's what, instead of we creating object, we will inform Spring to create the object and give it to us. That is the main agenda of the Spring framework. But as all these modules are available to develop any application where we have to write lot of configurations. So to reduce configuration, and we have some other principles to go on it, that is, we'll replace with one simple dot property file which is called application dot properties. Instead of Java code configurations to be written, we'll write the configuration file to be taken care, and it's do auto configuration. So that's why Spring framework minus configuration, it's a simple Spring Boot. So are you clear with this?
Yeah.
So is the speed is okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fine. Okay. So is it you are okay with the same way which we done today, or you want me to do like prepare the project first and then demonstrate it for you by using all these things, and then we start with Spring Boot?
I think today's
Maybe
approach
this
is
way.
fine.
Okay. Yeah. Then tomorrow, I guess we discuss with Spring Devo and Spring Web, so that we'll finish the Spring Devo and Spring Web, so that then later stage I'll take a Spring AOP, but all those approaches with a Spring Boot. I'll give an introduction to Spring Boot itself, and then we start with Spring Devo and Spring Web. So then I'll add a Spring AOP one by one module. I'll add it. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
Then tomorrow we'll connect at same time, no? 8:30.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, please inform Tungam also too.
Yeah, I
She has
joined.
also
Sorry.
joined.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan, and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.